Hello, hopefully everyone has enjoyed the previous videos, um, and this is this week's daily races. Daily race A, which I will admit straight away is the strangest daily race I've ever played, and I've not played a lot, I'll admit that straight away, but it is weird. As you can see, I got the car 104 miles an hour, and not, yeah, that's at the first corner. But to have cars that you're taking corners at 40-50 mile an hour at when you can drive stupidly high-powered supercars is very odd. Good fun, but still very odd to be driving such slow cars. So this is footage of me doing the qualifying or practicing basically to learn the track beforehand. Just trying to set my fastest time. I struggled to start with, as you can see, with a few of the corners and the braking zones. I played a little bit around with brake balance as well, just to try and find the best setup for me. Never really touched the brake balance before. I did find having it 2 on the rear helped. I think it hunkered it. I don't know. It just stopped the back end sliding a little bit under braking. But the first corner, yeah, that's my nemesis, and you've got to find the right braking point, and I think I did. Eventually, final corner, or final 2 corners, I suppose. 40 to 45, I found you could take this to still get a decent line. I probably could go a little bit faster, but yeah, just trying to keep it tight, really. Yeah, not a brilliant lap. My first lap was the best, but yeah, first corner again. See, I found the best braking point for me. I've got the cones on. I was halfway between the double cones and the single cone. I found the best braking point. Hard on the brakes, straight round. But it was just trial and error, to be fair. Hopefully people have noticed there's no music playing anymore. I've managed to figure out how to not have that on when I'm driving. So hopefully that will make a little bit of a difference when you're viewing this. So coming up, we've got a few different races that I did, all one after the other. The only thing I found I didn't like about this race was the delay between races. Normally I found on the previous week's races you could finish a race and within 10 minutes or so, less than probably a lot of the time, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, there's another race ready to rumble. On this race I found you were looking at 15-minute gaps from finishing a race to the next, which I'm not a long time player, but I found it a little bit odd. Just because you couldn't really get into a rhythm unless you carried on just practicing and going round and round the circuit, which is never a bad thing to keep improving. I just found it was a bit tedious, really. So new personal best there. They are very long lap times as well, I did find. Moving on the braking is definitely not a good idea. As proven there. Still made it round, but slower than the first one. And the other weird thing about this track that I found, you only need to brake 4 times. Unless I'm doing something wrong, which it could be. But yeah, I found I only had to brake 4 times. In the whole lap. The other thing I found by doing these daily races, or this daily race anyway, was if you get a penalty, you're done. Because you can't catch up. Because everyone's on the same car, roughly the same speed, even at 1 second penalty, you're back of the pack. Unlikely, unless other people made mistakes, to catch up. And we'll come up just to finish this lap off. Definitely messed that corner up there. They crossed the line. Traction control 1, I was testing out a few different things. But yeah. I will say my best time I managed to get was a 1:36.3, which, as you can see from the first race, pole position. And I'll say this now, my first ever pole position. So here we go for the first race. From pole position, off we go. Not the best start, I didn't really catch it properly, so I seemed to bog down a little bit on the line. Zero brake balance, I've changed it to -1. I was still trying to figure out at this point best way. Didn't brake early enough there. Managed to keep it on the track until I get punted off from the side, and that's dropped me massively back. That's the only thing with these cars. I also found people are quite happy to play bumper cars with cars like this, and once you get off the track, it's so difficult to catch up. Yeah, missed the braking point there. I'm now just playing to catch up. There are people penalties, so there's always that chance. Completely off the racing line now. Even I know that. And that's saying something. Slipstream I found doesn't really make any difference with this one. You do get a bit of extra speed, but it's not a be all and end all with these cars. I don't think they do go fast enough for you to make any real difference of it. We're challenging for 11th on the first lap. Coming into the second to last corner. Didn't really hit the braking point as I normally have done with that corner, but got 11th place. And now on to lap 2. You will find some of the races, I've sped up some of the footage, mainly because, like I say, once you drop behind, it is so difficult to catch up unless there's mistakes ahead. Yeah, missed the braking point again. This is my first race as well. I haven't done this race previous to this. This was my first race. So that first corner, an issue. But I hadn't at that point figured out, other than my brilliant pole sitting lap. And here we go, speeding up the footage. We're back of the pack. It was, yeah, as you'll probably see, doesn't get much better. I can see 11th, but that's it, I can see it. Some people may say the driving's a little bit scrappy. Yes, it was. I was annoyed from the first corner incident. That kind of messed everything up, to be fair. And then started playing around with the brake bias just to try and see if anything else. I'm pushing hard, obviously going off the track there. And we're into the last corner. Still back of the pack. I'm not last, admittedly. Not last. I don't know what happens to the guy that's in last. Because you can see what happened to me. He must have had a lot worse. And we're crossing the line. Ish. And so this is my second race. So my lap time that got me pole in the last one was not good enough for pole this time. So second place start, which I'm still happy with. You know, previously I've been getting starts of like 10th and stuff. So yeah, pretty happy with this. Nailed the start. You can see the person in first, bogged down on the line. I'm off into the first corner. If I can hold first place in the first corner, and I can. And we're fast forwarding because nothing happened. Admittedly, I stayed out in the lead for the whole race. No one got near me, no one got close, and it was all down to the start. That's the thing with these cars. It's very difficult to catch people up. A slipstream has no effect, I found, or find. As long as you stay on the track and avoid penalties, no one can catch you. I will apologise for the squeaking, but side effect of speeding up the race, it's the tyres. There's a lot of squeaking from this car. But yeah, you can't even get close. Which, if you manage to get first place in the first corner, and you manage to keep on the track for the whole time, easy win. This was all down, and I, openly admit this, to my start. I got an amazing start. I timed the acceleration perfectly off the line, and I aim to, once the one disappears, it's milliseconds to try and accelerate from there. That's what I find works. And yeah, I personally first bogged down, and I was gone. Probably the easiest first place I've ever had, and this is the finish. And across the line. And I will say now, I say it's the easiest first place I've ever had. If you've watched the previous videos, you saw my first ever first place in online racing, and this was my second. So yeah, the easiest one I'm probably ever going to have, but only my second. And I got a fastest lap, so that's my first ever fastest lap as well, which I was pretty happy with. And now we'll be starting the next race. I know people have got a lot better amount of wins and things than me. Like I say, this is a bit of fun for me. So the last race of the video. This one unspeeded up, so less squeaking admittedly. So our qualifying time was only good enough for 5th place, which for me, still pretty happy with. I was expecting a tough race. In the pack, the start, it still needs to be good, but even with a good start, it's a lot of cars to try and get past, just to get out ahead and stay ahead. And this is when I find my nemesis. I kind of figured there is one car. You see him to the left there, the Fury Du 22. He, to me, is one of the most unsporting players I have come across. And if he, by some miracle, happens to watch this, you are the dirtiest player I've yet to find. It's amazing how far he goes to keep a position. So currently in 4th, trying to settle into the race. I don't know if that was my fault. I kind of took it quite tight, but that definitely wasn't my fault. Bumps me off onto the grass. I don't know why. T-Mini there on my outside, so down into 5th, which is one up from where I started. I think I started in 5th or 6th, one of the two. So not doing too badly. Like I say, mistakes you can capitalise, but generally catching up. If I'd gone to the back at this point, I would have been race over. I don't quit the races, but yeah, race over. So trying to take T-Mini there on the outside, got the inside line, get a little bit of touch in between the cars, and that gives me a penalty. Yeah, I don't know if that's my fault. I'm sure someone will be quite happy to tell me if it was or not. I thought I had the inside line, didn't see an issue personally, but yeah, I could have been wrong, to be fair. So back into the first corner on the second lap. T-Mini under braking there, just off though, and now I've lost 5th and 6th. And with a 1 second penalty, that's not good in these kind of races. As I said earlier on in the video, you get a penalty, you're not coming back that easily. But we'll keep going. We are still just behind 6th. We can still catch them. They're still within touching distance. We've got a couple of seconds on the car behind, which may help us with the penalty coming up. I did play a little bit with turning traction control off on some of the corners to see if that would help. Just because I felt it limited the speed. You can't, like the previous corner, you hit 70, you're not going. You can't go up a gear. I'm using an automatic gearbox. I found that was an issue. But yeah, I just couldn't keep it under control as easily. And here we are, serving the penalty. And off we go again. So we've lost a bit of time to climb from, but we've got a gap to the car behind. So we're kind of in no man's land. 7th place. I just think this is, you know, concentrate on 7th. Try and get a good decent laps in, but yeah, I'm not expecting to go any further at this point. But then up ahead I see the car has gone off, and that's always a cause to try and catch up, and that's Team Mini. I would say what country they're from, but I'm not very good at flags, so I'll admit that straight away. But yeah, Team Mini there have gone off. I've got a penalty from door banging with them earlier, so a bit of wary of that. But I've got 6th place. Wasn't expecting it, but I've got it. And up ahead there's a fight going on between 4th and 5th, as we can see, including my nemesis, who's now got a penalty, which will make him fall into our clutches, I'm hoping. Don't know what he quite got the penalty for. But here we are, this is what I mean about not changing gear. On an automatic gearbox, instead of manual gears, you cannot change gear on that corner when you're taking it at full pelt. That's an issue. And that's probably a disadvantage to automatic on this track with this car. Braking for the corner. Le Furier du. Penalty's coming up. He's forced the other guy off the track. But we've got to, and him doing that has made us get past him, and here we are, we're catching over. And here he is. This is one of the big reasons why he's one of the most unsporting players I've come across. What was the need? He's got himself another penalty, admittedly. And here he is, edging over, little another bang again. I'd probably brake a bit late there, but only because he is so on me, I didn't seem to have much choice. But as you saw, the swerving over along the straight, there was no need. But luckily, and I will take the fact he got a penalty. A bit of door banging there again, probably my fault to be fair, although I did have the inside line. We need to keep touching distance with Le Furier du, otherwise that that penalty, I think it's only a second, won't help us. So we're currently in 6th. 7th is very close to us. Slipstream's not a big deal, as I've said previously. As you can see on the radar, he is very close to us. We're trying to keep distance with the 2 in front, just to try and get another place if we can with the penalty coming up. Second to last corner. He tries to dive bomb on the inside, it makes it stick, which is such a shame. And we're trying to catch, we're just not going to do it. The line comes so early there. And there we go, 7th place. Well, that's all the ones that I've recorded for that race anyway. I have got some of the oval track, but thanks again for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. See you again soon.